You need to call Albuquerque Police Department. This car's coming back as stolen. I bought this car. I've got a clean title. You're holding it right there in your hand. What do you mean it's stolen? So back in my early 20s, I had been dabbling with cars for quite some time. I decided that I really wanted to step it up, and I'd been flipping cars for years. I'd been working in the new car business for a while. I decided, time to go out on my own and really make something of this. I rented myself a building, got a dealer's license, scraped together what I had, started buying some cars. And I would do okay. I think I never had more than 12, maybe 15 cars at a time. It was a one-man show, just trying to run what I could. Avoid making some of the mistakes you make when you're young. Now, as much as you think you know and you try to learn, sometimes you learn things the hard way. As was the case, I had bought 3 cars from an auction that at the time was a reputable auction that I don't think they're around anymore today. I bought a 63 Cadillac, 69 Chevelle, and a 67 Camaro. And the Cadillac and the Chevelle were good cars. I think I bought them right, made a few bucks on them, happy. The Camaro, well, I fell for some traps that you get being a younger guy. It was painted in the bright synergy green metallic Camaro color. It had these matte black SS stripes on it. It had these staggered 5-spoke, oversized American racing style wheels. And it had this eyeball that just drew me in. The interior, nice black leather seats, this really cool green stitching to match the exterior. While I'm looking at this car, I'm not seeing the forest for the trees. So I end up buying the car, I get it back and realize maybe it's not such a nice car after all. It's not really running right, shifts a little bit funny. The seats are stuffed so high, there's no headroom in it. The wheels rub. The tires have chunks of rubber taken out of them from every time you try to make a tight turn. I'll try to make the best of a bad situation. Had the car for a while, wasn't really going anywhere, not getting a whole lot of traction. So you do what every other dealer does and you send it back to an auction. Load it on the truck with a few other cars, heading out to the sale. And in Arizona, we have third-party offices for titles. You don't have to go to the actual government office. You can go to a little third-party agency. And I go to this place around the corner, flip the titles into my dealer name. All the cars are fine, except this Camaro. So when I come back to pick it up, the woman behind the counter goes, "Hey, you need to call Albuquerque Police Department. This car's coming back as stolen. I bought this car. I've got a clean title. You're holding it right there in your hand. What do you mean it's stolen?" "I don't know. You need to call them." So immediately I go and I call the Albuquerque Police Department. The car's already on a truck to the auction. I am sweating. I go, I got to get this cleaned up right now. This car's got to go over the block. I want to get my money out of it and move on to something else. And they say, "Okay, well, we'll look into it and we'll get back to you." Oh, well, that's not the resolution I want, but I guess I'm at the mercy of the law here. So a couple days later, I hear back and they say, "Yeah, the car is in fact considered actively stolen. We had to go down into the basement into our paper archives to find it." Turns out the car was stolen in 1979 and there was no record of recovery anywhere. Now, I would have thought that when someone had gone in to get a title that it would have gotten flagged. But back in the days before computers, the FBI database was purged, from what I was told, about every 5 years or so. This car was stolen in 79, stashed somewhere for many, many years, and then resurfaced in California in 1991 when the next title was issued. And from that point on, no one had ever caught it. Lucky me. So now I got to figure out, what do we do with it? I'm asking the detective at the Albuquerque police, how is this going to go? He's digging into it. I have to see who owned the car. Was there a payout? And he's walking me through all these steps. Finally, I get the police report and it comes back saying, well, we can't make contact with the original victim. There is no record of an insurance payout. We don't really know what to do. And that's the police report. And I'm paraphrasing here. Come to find out, the detective actually retired the next day. So apparently this was dropped on his desk. He just didn't want to deal with it. Well, it may not have been his problem, but it was still my problem. because now I have a car that is sitting off at an auction off to the side I can't do anything with, and I'm starting to accept the fact that, you know what, I just signed up for a two-way shipping round trip with this car. When I get back from the auction, get the car back, I reach out to Arizona Department of Public Safety, the Auto Theft Task Force. They come out, they do their VIN checks on the car, check the records. Yep, stolen. Okay, we need to recover the car now. All right, that's fine. They take the car and it goes into their storage yard. I asked the detective, what are the next steps? Well, they actually were able to make contact with the original victim's family. In the process, I thought I was going to have some recourse. I wanted to help try to get this car back to the original owner who had the car stolen so many years ago. The kicker is that apparently when this car was stolen, it's kind of the beginning of the downfall for him, because legally he was no longer competent and was under conservatorship. I remember, I believe it was his brother that I finally talked to, and he gave me the backstory. And what happened is they lived in Colorado and he got a job down in Albuquerque. He drove this car down there and he was working, and within a very, very short window, he had his house broken into, he had a motorcycle stolen, and he had this Camaro stolen. The mental anguish that that put on him was just too much, and apparently he was never the same after that. He couldn't even go on record saying, yes, that's my car, and put a claim in for it. But I was still trying to work with the family. The kicker was there was never a record of an insurance payout. They didn't have a paper trail to prove they owned it. And I just said, you know what, enough is enough. I'm sick of this car, and I put out of sight, out of mind. Now, a couple years later, when I ended up going to work for Barrett Jackson, I ran into the same detective from the Auto Theft Task Force that I had worked with before. They were out there doing their VIN checks, making sure everything's good. I go, hey, whatever happened to that old Camaro? He's like, it's still sitting in our yard. Nothing's happening to it. And I go, what about the original victims? The family couldn't get it back? He said, there's no chance that that's going to happen. We've tried everything in every way. The problem is the car's got to go to Colorado in order for a VIN inspection to be done, but we can't release the car unless they prove they own it. They have no paper trail, so really this car is in no man's land. I go, okay, well, at this point, there's no sense in it just rotting there until it goes to an auction. And if you don't know, whenever you have a car that gets tied up in legal issues like that, it goes into what's called interpleader. Interpleader, the various parties can submit a claim on a car. It goes before a judge, and then the judge will decide who gets awarded the car based on the strength of the case. Now, the victim's family had just decided they were done. They weren't going to try anymore. So I was the only one. I put in my claim. I get the car back. Now, all the bad memories are coming back again. And I say, at least let me try to get some of my money back out of this thing. At Barrett, we happen to have an auction coming up fairly quickly. I go up to the president's office and I say, hey, good news. I've got a car we can run on Sunday, as we needed a couple consignments for Sunday. I got the car shipped out of the impound yard, got it over to the shop, threw some fresh gas in it, a battery, cleaned it up, fired up. Still didn't run great, but hey, it was running nonetheless. We got it photoed, sent it on a truck with a clean title this time, got the car to the auction. Now here's the kicker, is that this car just had to get one more shot at me before it sold. That while in the staging lanes, it gets up to the front, it's minutes away from going on the block, the battery dies, they've got to push the car on stage. So naturally, there goes half my bidder audience right there. Car ends up hammering, it's sold, it's off to someone else, it's out of my hair, and it's a lesson learned. Always check the VIN when you're buying something. You never know where a car's been.
This month, the VINwiki content is brought to you by Bridgestone, and the most exciting news out of Bridgestone is the new release of their Turanza Prestige tire. It is their flagship Grand Touring tire, targeting luxury SUVs, crossovers, and sedans, like a Mercedes S-Class or a BMW X7. And this gives you all the whisper quiet ride that you want in a high-end luxury experience, as well as the wet and dry weather performance that we love from Bridgestone. And you'll get some of the greatest longevity they've ever had on street tires, 70,000 mile limited warranty. So we love Bridgestone for their sports car and supercar tires in the Potenza range. Of course, the Dueler AT Ascent that I've got on my Porsche Cayenne, I absolutely love. But whatever you're looking to find tires for, Bridgestone has something great. So check them out now at the link in the description below to learn more about the Bridgestone family of tires.